excuse how I look. It's been a really, really stressful time. The reason being is Howard's had a pulmonary embolism, and he was told he was very lucky to have survived it. Started off with, he presented, it was like a heart attack. He didn't fall to the floor dramatically clutching his heart like you see on the films and stuff like that. It was nothing like that. He was clammy, he was sweating profusely, he had pains in his side under his heart, and they were going down into his arm. So the doctor rushed him into hospital, suspecting a heart attack. They put him in the assessment unit, and he was there for a good 24 hours. Just, you know, he was able to walk around, and he had no sleep, obviously, because they're hard chairs. He had no sleep at all. And eventually they found a bed for him, and they gave him a scan and found that he'd had a DVT, which had gone unnoticed or undiagnosed by our doctor. He had seen our doctor previously, and the doctor had said no, there's no there's no DVT, but he said, like, keep an eye on it, but I don't think there's a DVT. But you could feel that there was something in his calf. So anyway, it was that, and it had travelled. It had put strain on his heart, causing this, they said it was minor heart attack. And when they scanned him, they said he had a pulmonary embolism, which basically their words were, your heart and lungs are riddled with blood clots. It was the worst thing ever to hear. They started him immediately on blood thinners, but he was like very close to death, guys. We could have lost him. You all know Howard. He's happy and he keeps seeing the positive side of things, and even through that he was like, oh, I'm fine, it'll be fine. And I'm saying, no, you have to listen to them now. This is a wake-up call. You have to listen to them. You have to do as you're told. So put him on blood thinners and said that he should have bed rest. No, first of all, they put him on blood thinners and they put him in his own room where they could do obs regularly. I mean, every half an hour or so somebody was coming in and they were observing him, and he was allowed to stand and walk to the bathroom and stuff like that. And then he had another scan, and they said it was worse than they thought. He had so many of these clots. That's when they said you're riddled with them. He had so many going through his body. So they put him on flat bed rest because they didn't want the clot that had lodged in his aorta, whatever side your heart's on, it had lodged. And they didn't want it to move and to travel any further. So it was on the artery that was going into his heart. So some parts had blocked off, had dropped off, I can't even speak, broken off. And that's why he had so many clots in his heart and lungs. But this big one, they put him just complete bed rest. He wasn't allowed to move. They just didn't want it to dislodge. So after about a week, he saw another consultant who said, well, I don't agree with you being on complete bed rest. He said, in my opinion, you should be up and you should be moving because that prevents DVTs. And he says, now you're on the blood thinners, it won't happen again because, you know, they thin the blood. So we had conflicting advice. We really didn't know. I'm a bit close to you, aren't I? Hang on. My seat won't go back any further. We had conflicting advice as to whether he should be on bed rest or able to walk around. So it went like that between two consultants. There was no communication between them both. And all that they were doing was plying him with these injections into his stomach every day, twice a day, every day. So then the consultant came around and said that he was going to send him home. So myself and my eldest daughter were like, no, we're not having that responsibility. We need him in the right place. We need him to be looked after. We're not doctors. We have no medical training. Well, I do, but it was years ago. It's well out of date now. So yeah, I can't even say that I kept up my my certificates and things because it was so long ago. So I said no. I said I don't want him to come home. So they called the head consultant, and he came up and he was talking to us like children. He was like, I will repeat it again if you want me to, but in my opinion. And that's how he was talking to us. So we got arsy with him and said, there's no need to talk to us like that. We're not stupid. We just want the best for Howard. But anyway, he was adamant and they discharged him. So he is home now and he's recovering, I think, I hope, fingers crossed. But he's still having a lot of pain in his shoulder and pain in his upper side, sort of like if you're a woman, under the wire of your bra. So not actually in your heart, but like underneath on the side. Now they said that that would be the clots breaking down and the clots that's causing the pain. But we've said that we want a further investigation, we want more doing. So he's got a full body scan this week, and hopefully they'll be able to tell us if there's anything else going on. They'll be able to tell us maybe if the clots are dispersing. The consultant said that it would take months for the clots to go, and he said that he wasn't going to scan him because he said it would be pointless because it'll take months. And I read it when he said it would be pointless. I read it that it would be pointless scanning him because he's not going to live, and that's how I read it. But he's home. I'm looking after him. I'm not letting him do anything. He can stand up every now and again to like stretch his legs. And I'm letting him go to the toilet and upstairs to bed, obviously, but I'm not letting him do anything. And I hate leaving him. You know, just for the basic of things, when I go out, I just hate leaving him. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. I'm worried sick. Absolutely worried sick that something's going to happen because I couldn't cope without him. I could not cope without him. So guys, that's where I'm going to leave this. It's just a quick explanation to explain where I've been and why I haven't been on YouTube. I have got a video to film. It's got to go up soon. I've been gifted something, so I need to film that. So I'm going to put some makeup on, do my hair and slap a smile on my face. But underneath, I am just full of anxiety and depression and worry and fear. So if I don't film that often, that's why. But as I said, I do have this other one to film, which I'm going to film in the week. So yeah, my heart's pounding just talking to you guys. It's not been easy. It's been a living nightmare, if I'm honest with you. But anyway, that's where we are at the minute, guys. So sorry if I haven't answered any of your comments from my last video, because all this has been going on. I will go on, I will answer them, and I will chat to you in the comments from this one. But I'm sorry it's a short video. I just wanted you to know what was going on. So anyway, guys, for now, it's a bye from me. Please subscribe if you haven't for more updates and stuff. I will keep you informed, and I hope you're all doing well, guys. Hope you're all doing better than we are at the moment. So bye for now from me, guys.